Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the weekend update 2021. What a very interesting year, to say the least. Started off with a bang, January and February, one of the best 2 months I've seen in 20 years of trading. And after that, a lot of malaise, a lot of difficulty during the year. But if you are still around and you are able to learn from this very trying year of trading, these coming weeks could and should be very good. We've seen a lot of tax selling over the last several weeks, and now as we enter the new year, there should be no excuse for some of these small caps to be priced where they are. You recall, over the last couple of weeks, I've put out those stats about how many stocks are under $1, under $5. 30% of the market is under $10. These are numbers I have not seen in many, many years. Now, we're going to know pretty quickly in the first couple of weeks what this early part of the year is like. I am ready myself to go shopping starting this week. The nonsense selling that we've seen out there, the big tax law selling, should be gone now. And I'm going to be looking for chart plays that bounce big. Quick update on the indices. We're going to look at the SPY here. SPY had that big move back up after the really mid-month decimation of the market. Came up on lower volume, and you can see that throughout the indices. On the Dow, came up on lower volume, and on the Qs, came up on lower volume. Now, what we would like to see is the large caps not get whooped. Up a little bit, flat is the perfect scenario for January popper mania. So that is what we're going to be looking for. The reason I say the first couple of weeks are going to be telling, a lot of the large cap push, in my opinion, into the end of the year was lack of volume and lack of selling because funds and big holders did not want to sell and pay taxes. Now they got to wait another year before they have to pay taxes on these huge gains. SPY was up 28-29% this past year. We could see some taking of profits in that sector and then a rotation to the value. The value out there is absolutely insane, in my opinion. But anyway, let's jump into some stock plays. We got lots to look at. If I don't mention a stock, it just means I've run out of time, and I'm planning on still approaching shotgun approach is how I'm approaching this market. Some stocks may rocket, some may do nothing. It's a matter of picking a bunch of different kinds of plays with similar charts and seeing when they come to pass. We've got some event plays coming up. CES begins Wednesday. Not a whole lot of CES plays going into this year. Actually, the last couple of years, but we could start to see press releases because a lot of it's going to be remote Monday, Tuesday, about companies doing remote presentations. And as we've seen in this kind of market, the right headline with the right float and the right algos pushing them, we can see stupid size moves in stocks. Look at some of the garbage that was up huge this past week on like Korean patents. Like, that is worth so much money. It's all a matter of the algos coming in. Another thing I would like to see, we need to see momentum. We have not seen any kind of momentum out there. And what I mean by that is sector momentum, biotechs. When we see a stock go up 100 or 200%, the peers that also do the same thing start to get buyers. What we've seen in this market, especially in the last month, is all the scanner traders and everyone really frustrated with this market, all piling into the same stock that has volume, and you have one or two stocks with 50 to 100 plus million shares up on stupid news, and that's the only stock that moves, and everyone just day trades that. We need to see that momentum spread out to the peers. DATS, this one has a very nice bottom in place here. 350s, probably where the sideline, afraid to buy dip traders would come in. I'm targeting a move to the 50-day moving average at 523. Now, I'm just going to refresh what I use as targets, especially this time of the year. I like to keep it simple. My favorite bounce targets are the 20-day EMA. You'll see it on the charts that I show. That's the green line. And the 50-day moving average. Really, really easy targets. You do not need to make this stuff hard. This is simple as simple can be. And the way a lot of these stocks got hammered from November to the end of the year, some of these stocks are way under their 20-day EMA, way under their 50-day moving average. So that makes for some easy bounce targets. MKD. This is the weekly chart of MKD, a penny stock. We've got multiple pennies trading under 30 cents, under 35 cents. Recall, we had, for a couple of hours earlier last year, we had 0 stocks under $1. There's 200 plus now under $1. 500, I believe, under $2. Lots and lots of inventory. On the weekly chart, 20-day EMA, 37 cents. We look at the daily chart. I kept this in place here. This was when I did my initial ads on a lot of these swings, and hopefully you will take the way, especially if this is your first January popper season, you will take how I approach these stocks and use it for yourself going forward. I tiptoed into some plays in mid-December, but they were starter positions, giving me room to add more. Some of these stocks ended up dipping down below, and last week I was able to add to my positions. Some of the stocks went on huge moves like Rito and TKAT. That is the reason for the tiptoe in kind of action. So hopefully you see how I approach stocks this time of the year and how I know there could be risk to the downside and I'm okay with it, but I want to have some shares that if they surprise to the upside, I get a little piece of the action out of it too. 29 cents is the 50-day on the daily chart here. 24 cents break. These pennies tend to do very well this time of the year, so let us see. GRIL, G-R-I-L, Muscle Maker. Now, this is a classic January popper chart. They did an offering, 110, 120 approximately area, and then the tax selling just whooped it. Made a bottom, came back up. We had a little bit more tax selling on Friday, and now when you look at this chart, 20-day EMA is at 87 cents. That's, what, 20% higher? 50-day is up at $1.01. RSI peeping up over 30. Stochastics in the basement still, looking ready to curl up. And, you know, this one looks ready to rock and roll into January. Healthy food play. Healthy food stocks tend to do very well this time of the year because everyone does their New Year's resolutions. I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to eat well, etc., etc., etc. Another play on that is RIBT. This is another healthy food play. January popper chart. Boom, boom, boom. Putting in a bottom right here. Tried to bust out on Friday, but Friday was the wrong day to do it. If it was Monday when it started to do this, we probably would have seen this stock up at 47, 50 cent area in my opinion, but looking really, really good. Healthy food stock, just like GRIL. INUV, again, another whooped chart. Huge insider buy in November. That is really an eye-opener here. 350,000 shares at 67 cents. Open market buy. You know, that's an easy 10, 20% upside bounce just to where the insider recently bought. FUBO. FUBO is going to be, I think, a quotation mark large cap January popper for this year. This is a stock that I think can outperform this year. The classic January popper sell-off. Sports betting news is starting to hit on this stock. The sports streaming aspect of this stock into January, barring any implosion in the large cap market, we've got a bounce up into the 20s. That's at least how I see it. CYRN, another January popper play, did its offering, has been putting in a bottom down in this area, 35 cents, 41 cents, 50 cents plus. Typically on these stocks that are under, they're in the 20s. 30 cents is a first target, 35 to 40, then 50 cents. It's not rocket science. They're simple, easy bounce targets on these stocks. SBET, this is another stock that I expect to do very, very well in 2022. 50-day moving average is at 311, and that's where we're looking to go at least near term into January. I forgot to do the chart for this one, but another one I expect to do very well this year is CYRN. This market cap for this stock is insane in my opinion. deep small cap value play. I think it has at least 50% upside in 2022. I'm being extremely conservative. I own this one long term as well, but these are the kinds of profitable value plays that should do well no matter what the market does this year. MULN, Net Element. This is a CES play. They are presenting tech on Wednesday at CES. Also has a January popper bottom. 6, and then they chase. Depending on how the news is and how the market reacts this week, this has a very nice bottom chart. Now, there is one negative regarding this stock. I won't even taint this video talking about which company owns shares in this company, but they're like the kiss of death. So hopefully this stock with this chart can overcome that crux that it has. CETX, VR is going to be really big at CES this week, especially with everything having to go remote. This is another one that had a nice bottom in place, got the January selling or December attack selling, and then bounced right back up again. 50-day moving average, 108, 200 days, 132. Nice bounce potential on this chart. VRAR Glimpse Group. This is the big player in the VR sector, and it is slowly moving up. This 1150 to 12 zone is probably where you could really see some chasers coming in, but 9 looks to be really solid support on this swing. ANPC, I really like this setup. Low float, biotech chart, classic January popper setup. It's got the nice curl in place and looks ready to rock and roll. That 50-day moving average is up there at 174. Look at some of the moves on some of these low flow bios like KPRX this week. A rightly timed press release from a company like this, and we all know from seeing what happens out there, there would be chasers in pre-market here at 170. RSI looks great. Stochastics look great. Chart looks great into January. AHI, this is one of these uplisted stocks that everyone chased up, came back down, got hammered, but at least on the tax hammering, it's put in a very nice potential bottom here. We could start to see chasers come in 525 to 540. That's where I really think we could see the algos come in with dreams of the move back to the 770s. But from this price point here, pretty decent upside move potential going into January. TANH, TANH, positive MACD cross. I'm still looking for a move. Once 55 next, then 50-day moving average at 70 cents. And then last but not least, FAMI. This is another beaten up play. Going by the rules, 50 days at 28 cents, 28.30, 35.50. I mean, those are simple targets once the action starts to come in. My plan for this week, gonna have to still keep an eye on the indices, because if the indices get imploded, while there will still be action in small cap stocks, this baby step moves in, as I've been doing. Buying a little piece here, little piece there. They start to move. We start to see lots of movers in a certain price area. I'll start to press and build on those positions. But a lot of the reasons for them to sell and short these stocks has now gone. Tax sellers are out of the picture now. We should start to see a lot of these stocks bounce naturally, and the inventory of plays out there, as I've said, the most I've seen in many years. So get your rest. Hopefully we're going to be very busy for the month of January, and I will see you all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.